Hello and welcome to the first episode of /Roleplay. I am Kat, and I am here to pretty much story tell you about what has happened in my amazing adventures. Today I actually started in a Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 campaign with a couple people, actually 4 other people. Most of them from Australia, so it was extremely early in the morning for me. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning when we started playing game. And it's quite early. I just finished up and it's currently noon my time, and I've been up all night. But this is chapter 1 of our adventures. And so I want to start by giving sort of a campaign setting. As it starts, we were adventurers, and as it always ends up being, and we were on a boat. Yes, we were on a boat, and it was kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, where the ship is suddenly like heading over a waterfall. So we ended up going over the waterfall, me and my fellow companions and the crew, the captain, the crew of the ship, and we ended up going over this waterfall. And we get stranded on a island. Kind of think of Lost. This was a very good description of what was going on. So, I am playing a rogue. My name has been yet to be revealed. It doesn't seem like we're very, character focused yet. We were kind of more like excited to just start playing. So I'm currently playing a rogue, and I have a halfling were-raven in my party. I think that's what it was. Halfling were-raven, a kobold, and yeah, those were my fellow companions. I was not DMing. A good friend of mine named Carthnell, or David, rather, was DMing, so that was pretty cool, actually. This is my first, like, real-time playing a game in a long time, because usually I get stuck DMing. So it's a nice change of pace. So, back to the story. We were stranded on pretty much an island. Either which way, like, there was just, like, drop-off cliffs. It was like you go over the edge again, so we were stuck on this island. My adventuring party decided that we were going to explore this island a bit more. And there was some sort of ambush in the middle of the night. Giant cats. I personally was like, oh no, they're displacer beasts, but they weren't. They were just normal, dire-sized cats. We took them down, no problem. Woohoo! Then we decided to continue on through the woods. As we were continuing on through the woods, like, personally, I kept making jokes about, like, the polar bear. For those of you who've seen Lost, there was the polar bear that randomly appeared, so I was making jokes about that the entire time, but it ended up being, like, a white tiger instead, so that was pretty funny. So yeah, white tiger in the woods, randomly. So, decided that we were going to kill it, and one of my companions decided to skin it for some reason and collect its fur. Okay, so moving on. We actually ran into an ominous field and a black obelisk. And, of course, being the adventurers that we are, we decided to go inside this said obelisk, even though I kind of failed my will save, and was just kind of like, I want to go here, drawn into, yeah, so I ended up, just, like, following straight into this tower thing, and, when we got in, it was just, like, a giant spiraling staircase that went on forever, and it kind of, like, started looping around, and we got to, like, a set of doors, and we were like, we're gonna go straight, and, like, we kept going straight, and it just kept wrapping us around this staircase. And of course, as in every campaign that I have ever played in, spiders. Always spiders. So we got to fight a small group of spiders before we continued on to the staircase. We ended up room, staircase, room, and then staircase again. Well, we were at, we skipped the whole first room. We were like, nope. We're just gonna keep going. So we skipped, all the side doors. And we ended up getting back to pretty much the same location where it was, three doors. So we ended up actually exploring the doors this time. And we found a wizard. And we found a fighter. I use quotations because it wasn't actually marked as to what they were, so I'm only assuming. One was a fighter type class and one was a wizard type class. And we ended up rescuing them, which was pretty awesome. The wizard was pretty easy. A lot of me just talking and being like, hey, you want to come with us? So he ended up coming out of his room pretty easily. And then the other guy, we ended up having to fight some sort of phantom skeleton thingies because he was trapped in that room. It was kind of like room 101 where you face your greatest fears type thing. So that was definitely pretty interesting, which was funny on my part because he passed out unconscious because he couldn't leave the room unless he willingly wanted to leave the room. So he hit the barricade of the door and just passed out. So I was like, I'm totally gonna steal everything. Not quite steal everything, but I got all of his equipment and all of his sharp objects because he charged at the one person in the party who was like, I'm here to help you, and he was like, no, charge. So when he got knocked unconscious, I was like, he's not getting back up with all of his stuff. Because I don't want to be currently in the middle of battle and him turn around and be like, I'm gonna kill you now, and I'm gonna be like, no. So I actually threw all of his equipment out the door, and as I was searching him, I rolled really high on my search check and ended up finding a potion, which was absolutely hilarious because I'm like, where? I just searched, where did the potion come from? Yeah, I had to put on the gloves. I apparently went digging for this potion. But then I also found a shield that appeared out of nowhere, which was interesting. And he eventually, we defeated everything that was in the room, and he came to and pleasantly walked out of the room to get the rest of his stuff, which was awesome. And then we continued on with what we were doing. And we ended up actually leading back to the staircase in which we were fighting the spiders. And everything was reset. So I made a reference to the black cat in the Matrix, how it was deja vu, there was a glitch. No one got it, unfortunately. But yeah, so we get back to the room where the spiders are. We have to technically refight the spiders, but I was like, I'm not refighting these spiders. I was like, I cracked a sun rod, which I don't know how many people actually are pay attention to D&D or no D&D, but a sun rod is pretty much a really bright glow stick. I mean, really bright glow stick. So all the spiders were and they backed away. So we continued on the staircase, went up, and we found another door, which actually led outside. Which, saying all this, isn't very long, and this is where we ended the gaming session, but it took us roughly 4 hours to complete this and get through it, which was hilarious. But, I mean, you imagine you're running through the woods, you're doing search checks, spot checks. Combat can be a little, long, and especially, I managed to drop my weapon. I was like, roll 1, roll 5. I dropped my weapon. Oh. But yeah, so all in all, it was a very good campaign. So far, so good. We are currently playing it through a website called Inferno. It's not spelled regularly. It's actually... I'm gonna look it up real quick. That way you guys... It's a really awesome program. If you get a chance and you're into tabletop or into like gaming with other people, this website is amazing at being able to do that. You don't need to have Skype open. You don't need to like have like webcams for everyone. People can talk. There's chat. You can put up like the game boards if you want to roll stuff. And actually, I'm gonna write this down because I don't want to link it for YouTube and then YouTube be like, you're promoting, and then have to deal with copyright. So I'm gonna quickly write this down for you. It is called Inferno. And here we go. It is called Inferno.net. And you can go ahead and check that out. Amazing. I actually just discovered it today, so I'm pretty happy with it. I was using Roll20 for a while, but it doesn't have the capabilities of being able to integrate your webcam and mic, and this program does. So that's a huge plus side. But yeah, so I'm quite interested to see what happens with the next campaign. Like I said, we currently left off that we're heading outside the obelisk with with my other two companions, my PC companions, and two NPC companions. So it should be very interesting to see what happens next. And I seem to be like the only vanilla character, because everyone else is some sort of like ish monstrous creature or has something like really special about them. I'm like, I'm a human rogue. Yay. This is actually the first time playing a human, so it's kind of entertaining to me because it's putting me a little bit out of my comfort zone. I play mainly elves, but I really wanted my extra feat starting out at level 1 because I went improved feint, so I was like, I had to have that. So I was like, I'm gonna take my extra feat as a human, so I did. But yep. Hopefully this campaign will be running probably once a week, and I will be hopefully keeping you guys updated about what continues to happen and awesome things and, I don't know, the silliness that ensues. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this recap as much as I have enjoyed playing and giving you this recap, and I shall hopefully see you guys again later. Bye-bye!